Liam, have you ever had those days when you just sit and think, what am I doing with my life? Everything feels meaningless, no direction, no purpose.
Yeah, Emily. It's like walking through fog. You can't see ahead and you're just stuck. You try to stay busy, but deep down, you feel empty.
Exactly. And that's the truth for so many people, especially young adults. We don't talk about it enough, but feeling lost in life is more common than we think.
And it's scary. You scroll through social media, everyone seems to be doing amazing things, and you're just surviving, wondering if you missed something, if you failed.
But what if I told you feeling lost is not a failure? It's a message, a sign that something inside you is ready to change, that you're meant to pause, reflect, and grow.
And that's what this episode is about. Together, we're going to explore why you feel lost, what it means, where it comes from, and most importantly, how to find yourself again.
So if you're sitting there confused, tired, maybe even helpless, don't go anywhere. This conversation could be exactly what your heart needs right now. Liam, when someone says they're feeling lost, people often brush it off. They say things like, you'll figure it out, or it's just a phase. But what if it's deeper than that?
Exactly, Emily. Feeling lost doesn't just mean not knowing what career to choose or what to study. It means waking up and not feeling excited. It means questioning your value, your direction, your whole identity.
And this matters so much because when you ignore these feelings, they don't disappear. They grow. They turn into anxiety, low self worth, even depression.
That's why we're having this talk today. We want our listeners to know you're not broken. You're just in a moment of realignment.
Yes, sometimes feeling lost is life's way of asking, are you truly living the life you want? Or are you just following what others expect?
And you know what? As painful as it is, this lost feeling can be the beginning of your real journey, the one that brings you back to yourself.
So today's episode isn't just about giving advice. It's about helping you feel seen, heard, and understood. Because the moment you feel seen, that's the moment healing begins.
So, grab a notebook or just sit back with your thoughts. Let's walk through this together step by step. There's clarity on the other side of this fog, and we'll help you find it.
Liam, let's talk about how it actually feels to be lost. Not just in words, but in the heart.
Yeah, it's that quiet sadness you feel when you wake up. You go through the motions, eat, scroll, work, but deep inside, you feel like nothing matters.
Some people describe it like this: I feel like I'm just floating through life, watching other people live while I'm stuck. They feel disconnected from everything, even from themselves.
And it's even harder when others don't see it. You smile, go to class, talk to your friends, but inside there's confusion. This huge question, is this all there is?
Exactly. And you start comparing. You see someone getting a promotion, starting a business, moving abroad, and you're just existing. Suddenly, your own life feels like a failure.
Or maybe you've tried things, different jobs, courses, relationships, and still nothing feels right. That's when the doubt hits. Maybe I'm not meant for anything. Maybe I'll never find my path.
Liam, it breaks my heart because I've been there. You feel like you're behind in some race you never signed up for. And no matter what you do, you feel stuck, confused, and ashamed.
But what listeners need to hear is this: you are not alone. Millions of people from every country and background feel this way. This struggle is real, and it matters.
So if you're listening right now and thinking, that sounds like me, Please stay with us. There is a way out. It starts with understanding what's really happening inside you. Liam, when someone feels lost, it's not just about being lazy or unmotivated. There are deep emotional and logical reasons behind it.
Absolutely. One big reason is pressure from society, family, school. There's always this expectation to have everything figured out by a certain age.
Yes, get a job by 25, be married by 30, be successful or you're failing. These invisible timelines crush people inside.
And when your life doesn't match that timeline, you feel broken. But here's the truth. There is no perfect path. No one really has it all figured out.
Another cause is comparison. Social media shows only the highlight reels of people's lives. So you end up comparing your real struggle to their filtered moments.
Then there's burnout. Some people have been running so long, working hard, pleasing others, they don't even know what they want anymore.
Right. They confuse busyness with purpose, but deep down, they feel disconnected, like they've lost their spark.
Also, trauma or past failures can play a huge role. One bad experience, like a breakup, job loss, or rejection, can leave you afraid to try again.
That fear leads to paralysis. You don't move forward. You avoid risks. And slowly, you stop dreaming.
But understanding these causes is the first step. When you know why you feel lost, you can start to rebuild from the inside out.
Exactly. You are not lost because you're weak. You're lost because your heart is craving something real, something meaningful. And that's a beautiful place to begin again. Liam, let's talk about the first real step to finding yourself again. And it's not what most people expect. It's not action, it's stillness.
Yes, we live in a world that tells us keep moving, keep grinding, keep doing. But when you're lost, more noise doesn't bring clarity. Sometimes you need silence.
Exactly. Stillness is about creating space for your true thoughts to rise, not the thoughts from social media or from your parents' dreams, but your inner voice.
And for many people, they haven't heard that voice in years. They've been too busy surviving, following routines, chasing approval.
So here's a challenge for our listeners. Every morning for the next 7 days, take 10 minutes. No phone, no music, just sit with yourself. Ask questions like, what do I truly need? What am I afraid of? What does my heart want?
It might feel uncomfortable at first. You might feel emotional, but that's the point. Those feelings are signals. They're trying to guide you.
Stillness is not weakness, it's strength. Because when the world gets loud, calm becomes your power.
Write down what comes up, even if it feels small or confusing, because clarity begins with curiosity, and curiosity brings direction.
So don't rush, don't force, just be still and let your soul breathe. Liam, when people feel lost, they often say things like, I have no purpose, or I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Right. They feel like they need this big, life-changing mission to finally feel okay again. But the truth is, purpose doesn't always come in one big moment. Sometimes it starts small.
Yes, and that's the key. Finding just one tiny purpose each day. It could be as simple as, I want to drink more water, I want to take a walk today, or I want to learn one English word.
When you give yourself a tiny purpose, something manageable, doable, meaningful, you start to feel alive again because your brain shifts from confusion to creation.
And it builds momentum. You go from, I'm lost, to, I did something today that matters, even a little. And that little purpose becomes a light.
Here's a personal example. Last year, I felt completely lost. So I told myself, just read one page of a good book every day. It was small, but it gave me something to look forward to.
For me, it was waking up and making my bed. Just that. It gave me structure. And slowly, I began adding more meaningful routines.
So, if you're listening and you feel like your life has no direction, don't wait for some big dream to show up. Choose one tiny purpose today.
It could be helping your sibling with homework, trying a new recipe, or practicing English with this podcast.
Whatever it is, if it makes your heart feel just 1% better, start there. Because 1% every day is enough to bring your direction back.
Liam, one of the biggest side effects of feeling lost is this: you lose confidence. You stop believing that you're capable of anything.
Yes, you start thinking, why even try? I always mess things up. And slowly that self-doubt becomes your identity.
But confidence isn't something you magically find, it's something you build by doing hard things slowly.
Exactly. And when we say hard things, we don't mean climbing a mountain. We mean things that stretch you just a little, like talking to someone new, waking up earlier, learning a skill you've been avoiding.
Here's a tip: choose something that makes you just a tiny bit uncomfortable and do it consistently. Not to impress others, but to prove to yourself, I can do hard things.
I remember when I felt lost, I forced myself to join a public speaking group. It was terrifying. But each time I spoke, even for 30 seconds, I felt a little more alive.
For me, it was learning video editing. I thought, I'm not creative, I'll never be good at this. But I started slow, one tutorial a day. And over time, it became something I loved.
So, listener, what's one hard thing you've been avoiding? What's one challenge that could help you rebuild your confidence?
Write it down, break it into small steps, and remind yourself daily, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be brave enough to begin. Liam, here's something we don't talk about enough. When you're lost, it's easy to isolate yourself. You feel like no one would understand you, or worse, that you're a burden.
Yes, and that isolation makes everything worse. You keep pretending you're okay. You smile in public and cry in private, but healing doesn't happen in silence.
That's why this step is so important. Talk to someone. Someone who listens without judging, someone who cares, even if they don't have all the answers.
It could be a friend, a sibling, a teacher, or even a podcast host like us. You don't need to have the perfect words. Just speak your truth.
Start simple. Say something like, I've been feeling really off lately, or I don't know what I'm doing with my life and it scares me.
That kind of honesty builds real connection. And sometimes just hearing "me too" is enough to remind you you're not the only one struggling.
Here's the magic of honest conversation: it doesn't fix your life instantly, but it gives your heart a place to rest.
And when you talk, when you open up, you start to see new paths, new options, because people who care can often see things you can't.
So if you've been holding everything in, maybe tonight send that message, call that friend, or even leave a comment under this podcast.
We're all human, we all get lost, but when we walk together, the journey feels less dark.
Liam, even after someone starts taking small steps like stillness, tiny goals, or reaching out, there's still a big question. Why is it so hard to keep going?
Because healing isn't a straight line. There are ups and downs. And many people face three big obstacles: doubt, fear, and fatigue.
Let's talk about doubt first. You might start to feel a little better, but then your mind whispers, this won't last. You'll fail again. That voice is your inner critic, and it lies.
Then comes fear: fear of change, fear of success, even fear of finding yourself again. It sounds strange, but many people are afraid to grow because they don't know who they'll become.
Exactly. And the third obstacle is fatigue. You get tired. You put in effort and still feel empty sometimes. And that's okay. Progress doesn't always feel exciting. It's often quiet and slow.
Here's what we want our listeners to know. These obstacles are normal. They don't mean you're failing. They mean you're human.
So when doubt shows up, answer it with truth. I'm trying, and that's enough. When fear whispers, tell it, I may be scared, but I'm not stopping. And when you're tired, rest. Don't quit.
You're not weak for struggling. You're strong for continuing. Every step you take, even the slow ones, matter deeply.
And remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're walking with you, and thousands of others are listening, healing, growing, just like you. Hey, Liam, sometimes it's hard to start talking about feeling lost. Let's practice how to open up with a friend.
Good idea, Emily. I'll be the listener. You start.
Okay. Hey, Liam, I've been feeling a little lost lately. It's like I don't know what my next step is.
Thanks for telling me that, Emily. I'm here for you. What do you think is making you feel this way?
I think I'm scared of making the wrong choices, and I feel like I'm stuck in the same place.
That sounds really tough. Have you tried doing something small to help yourself feel better?
Yes, I started setting tiny goals like waking up early and reading one page of a book. It helps, but sometimes doubt still creeps in.
That's normal, Emily. Maybe we can celebrate those small wins together. I'll check in with you every day if you want.
I'd like that, Liam. Thank you for listening.
Anytime. Remember, you're not alone. We'll find a way forward, step by step.
Emily, let's help our listeners learn some new words from today's talk. Here's the first one: confidence. It means believing in yourself and your abilities.
Right. For example, she has a lot of confidence when she speaks English.
Next word is isolation. It means being alone or separated from others.
Like, after moving to a new city, he felt isolation because he didn't know anyone.
How about doubt? It means not being sure about something or feeling uncertain.
Yes. For example, I have doubt about whether I can finish this project on time.
Next, obstacle. It means something that blocks your way or makes progress difficult.
Like, fear can be an obstacle to success.
Here's a phrase: step by step. It means doing something gradually, one small part at a time.
For example, learning English is easier when you take it step by step.
And finally, honest conversation. It means talking openly and truthfully with someone.
Like, an honest conversation helped me understand my friend better.
Emily, what a journey today. We talked about feeling lost and how it's okay to feel that way sometimes.
Yes, Emily, we learned the importance of being still, setting small goals, opening up honestly, and understanding that healing isn't perfect.
If you're feeling lost right now, remember, you're not alone. Every step, no matter how small, moves you forward.
And don't forget, overcoming doubt, fear, and fatigue is part of the process. Be kind to yourself.
We want to hear from you. Please subscribe to Speak English with Mishu, share this podcast with someone who needs it, and comment below with your story or questions.
Together, we can grow, heal, and speak English confidently. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next episode.